to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of the Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not logged into or if you're not a member of the Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. And I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And I understand sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can make your comments or questions known during a live stream. So, like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, and consider subscribing and share the videos, comments on the videos. All these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Plus, consider joining Stunthangar YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. It's like going to Starbucks and buying one of their coffees once a month. That's all we ask. And as a matter of fact, by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.90 come out of my own checking account each and every month. So I'm not asking you to do something I'm not doing myself. I mean, if you love the hobby and want to support it, want to support us, that is a very good and convenient way to do it. It happens automatically. You don't even worry about it or even have to think about it. Another way you can support us is using the Super Chat, which is located underneath the chat box. It's a big $sign, and you can donate any amount you want that way, and there's no subscription. You just do it whenever you can. Now, you only can do it during a live stream. So like I said, I do this every Monday and Friday evening at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So come on in during the show and please make a donation. And if it's not convenient, to understand this is late for some people and really early for others, depending upon where you are on the globe. So come in during that time, make a donation. That's the only time you can do it is during a live stream, and then come back and watch the replay at a more convenient time. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your support, with your memberships, you get access to member-only videos and unlimited access to those videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. I just host a show every Monday and Friday evening. I set it up. I don't come back in and check the comments. That's underneath the YouTube. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you'll locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. It was orange then. I think now if he brings it up, it's orange. It's white. Excuse me. But that was a beautiful plane. It flew better than most of my airplanes I can remember. It might have been the best flying plane. I just can't remember if I flew anything better than that. But if you go there, you can make a comment or a question there, and I'll be notified on my cell phone, and I'll be able to respond to you quickly because that's my YouTube channel, and this one isn't my channel. This is Sparky's. So I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family when friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at stunthangar.com. So let me go there now and post the link, and let me get that going. And here we go. The link is posted. So that's how you come in. I've gotten some questions before, and people have asked, well, how do I get in? How do I get in? Well, the way to get in is to come in through the Stunthangar forum, and it's at a section called At the Bench. If you're not logged in or if you're not a member, that At the Bench will not show up. So register so you can get access to it. And I look forward to seeing you here. And let me go now to the YouTube, what I call the control panel. Just bear with me for a moment or two, and we will be cooking with gas. Hope everybody had a good weekend, had a chance to work in their shop and maybe go do some flying, and hopefully we'll be talking about that this evening. So I didn't get a chance to go flying today. I did fly last Friday. I spoke about that last Friday. And this weekend, I'm still going to the control panel while I'm talking. This weekend, I just was working on these handles. I'm on the second handle of the 4 I'm planning on making, and did some more work on that. Let's see here. It looks like we have 8 concurrent viewers, 8 likes, 100%. Thank you very much. Appreciate that immensely. And no one's in here yet, but it looks like we are off to a good start. We have Jack Snavely in the chat box. He says, hello, all around the world, just saying hi and enjoying the show. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate you coming in. And then Gary Sinclair. Now, these 2 gentlemen, Jack Snavely and Gary, are both members of our YouTube channel. I can tell by the moniker next to the name. And then Gary, specifically, he's actually a monitor. He has the blue wrench. So he's able to stomp out any trolls that might try to come in. That's another reason why we have it set up through the stunthangar.com forum. That way you have to kind of go through Sparky, and then Sparky approves you, and then you can get into the show through the At the Bench. And it looks like the first time is Joel Daly's making his way in here. This is quite a surprise. Thank you very much. Let me welcome Joe Daly in a second, as soon as he gets in here. Hey, Joe Daly, how are you?
Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I don't know if we met at the Nationals when I was there in 2019, but I'm sure you was there, right?
We did. We actually did. We did.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I apologize for forgetting. It's been a while, but I'm so happy that I saw the name coming up, and what a pleasant surprise. So I'm really happy for you to come in. And that's great. So let me just finish one more thing here, and you'll have my undivided attention. Just one second here. So let's see here. Click on that, click on this, and then save that. And we are done. Great, fantastic. And we have Lynn Burrell making his way in here. And do you know Lynn Burrell?
I've seen him fly a Brodak once this past year.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Our Canadian constituent of Lynn Burrell and Bob Whitley and Brad Lapointe and Stuart Morrison. We have like 4 or 5 people that come in regularly from Canada in the show. And then we have a guy from Indonesia, and we have another gentleman actually 2 gentlemen. One's Gerald Wimmer and Jonathan Karadas. They're from New Zealand. And Greg Biswick does not come in my show for some reason, but he comes in Sparky's on the same channel, and I think he's from Argentina, if I'm not mistaken. So, which is an international show. Oh, we have a new guy, Cha-Cha. His name is Christian Cha-Cha. He's from Trinidad. So it's a pretty interesting mix of people coming in. And when
Yeah,
we
I
get more,
get. I watch you guys on like usually on Saturday when I'm doing something.
oh, cool. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it because we need new faces all the time, because life can take people out, maybe an illness or some family situation. And even though they would love to be on the show, but they got to devote to their family or work so I really need a continuous influx of new people. And so I'm really encouraged seeing you because I didn't solicit to you. So I'm really glad that you came in. Here's Lynn Burrell. And Lynn, we have Joe Daly here.
How are you, Joe?
I'm good, Len. How are you?
I'm good. How you been?
I've been good. I finally got a chance to get on.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Good to
Yeah,
see you on here.
it is. It is. So Joe, I don't know you very well, so tell me about yourself. Actually, well, you know what? Hold up on that. Wait till more people come in. That way you can introduce yourself to more people. But just tell me what you've been working on, and then later on you do more of an introduction.
No, I just I repaired the 21 plane. That's the plane that got me into the top 5, and it got flipped over in the wind, and had a couple battle scars on it. So it flew really good. So I decided to refinish it.
Very good. What model is it? Is your own design or is it another?
Yeah, it's my design. It's called High Voltage.
Okay, I've seen. I don't know why I thought that was. Your dad is Derek Berry, right?
No,
Or Dale Berry, or no relation?
no relation.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting. Okay. All right. Cool. So I have seen your plane. It's red, right? Predominantly red.
A couple of them are red. Yeah, there was a couple of red ones. The latest one is mostly blue and white with a red stripe on it.
Fantastic.
And it was the red one I flew last year at Brodak too. The red one with the star on the back.
Well, fantastic. Well, congratulations for making the top 5. I remember seeing you flying. I watched the top 5 day, and I was impressed with anybody wanting to put their plane up in that kind of wind. That was amazing.
Well, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't pretty, but it wasn't that bad to fly.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I guess if it's clean wind, it's not that bad. If it's clean and just straight volume of wind, right?
Yeah.
Just need to have lots of power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do any? I'm sorry. Did you do any repairs to the one that folded at the Nats this year or no?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
That's next.
Okay.
I just have to fix the one wing. I mean, it's
Yeah, that's what I figured too. Like I saw it and I thought, well, that could be repairable.
Yeah, no, and actually it's funny, pieces all back together.
That's perfect.
I got some carbon tube. I'm gonna slide it and run it up against the spars on both sides. So it won't even
just reinforce the wing and yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's great.
So
sometimes it's not a loss, it's just an improvement.
Yeah, that was a shame too.
Yeah.
That was going to be a good flight too, but it's all right.
It's always the way.
Yeah. Well, listen, the plane was too light anyway, so I'll put some weight into it.
Too light? How much did it weigh?
58 ounces.
It's light.
Yeah. When I flew Sparky's Junar, that was like 58.5 ounces.
Well, this is 58 with a battery on board. It was a little too light. That was the problem. It was a little too light in the wrong spots, but yeah.
Well, if you're going to be at the top, you got to push the envelope, right?
That's right.
Let me welcome Gary Sinclair. Hey, Gary, thank you for coming in. How you doing?
Gary?
Hi. Quite a chore. It seemed like it took forever for it to do something.
Really? I wonder what's up with that.
I don't know.
Did you have trouble getting in, Lynn and Joe? You have any problem getting in?
No, I didn't have any trouble.
No.
Yeah.
It was clean.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
So what have you been up to, Charles?
Well, I had in-laws the last couple of days. So,
in-laws or outlaws?
in-laws.
Okay.
And they just left, and so I told them I had to do the show, and they was ready to go anyway. So yeah,
Okay.
yesterday and today, so I didn't get anything do. Pretty much, not much to do. And let me welcome Dennis Adamison. How you doing,
Yeah.
Dennis?
Hey,
Hi,
Dennis.
guys. Hi, guys.
Hi. Missed you last week or Monday. Or
Yeah, I
Friday,
thought that was
Friday.
interesting. I was trying to watch a replay of it and getting caught up, and Charles was showing some of his pictures, and I guess one of them was from Brodak. Looked like I was flying the airplane.
Yes, that hat
Somebody
was.
says, "Oh, that looks like Dennis," and Walter says, "Yeah, he's dead, isn't he?"
Oh.
I missed
what?
1 week. What the
I'm
heck,
glad
guys?
I'm glad you brought that up because I think I think what Walter was referring to was your brother, David, right?
Well, yeah, I
That's
hope
probably who
he
he's
just got
referring
us
to.
mixed up, but
Yeah,
I
I
did.
think
The funny thing is when I was watching the replay, I immediately turned it off and I called Walter, and I quoted him the Willie Nelson song. I woke up still not dead today. So anyhow,
very, very good. So I told him no, it was Art Adamison who died, but I think he's referring to your brother.
I think it was true.
Your dad
You know,
passed away.
it is the damnedest things. People used to mix up Dave and I all the time. But you know, both same first initial and everything like that. But that was the first time since then that's happened. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was unique. So
yeah, I bet. And you know, you have these triggers that will remind you of your loss, and sometimes you're like
that's exactly it.
unexpected triggers, and you're like, whoa, it's just you was doing fine, and next thing you know, you're thinking about something you wasn't even planning on.
But I showed up with the official snack of Stunthangar chats.
Oh, fantastic! I had popcorn. My guests, we actually were watching a movie. We watched Puss in Boots, the third one. And so I made popcorn. I made 2 bowls of popcorn, and so we ate popcorn already. So I didn't think I should eat any more popcorn.
It's not popcorn. It's stunt corn. Let's get it straight here.
I like that.
There's nothing like a bowl. There's nothing like a big bowl of stunt corn on a.
I love that.
Stunthanger.
I'll stop him when he's wrong.
Yeah, that's great. And let me welcome Joe Gilbert. Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
Doing fine, y'all. Got
Joe.
home safe and
That's the important thing. You and Colleen getting home safe. That's great. I'm happy to hear that.
is a good week.
That's awesome.
I know. Absolutely. That's great. Fantastic. Well, look who we have, you guys. We have Joe Daly. This is his first time in here. And I know some of you already know him already, but there might be people in our audience who don't know who he is. And Joe, if you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Yeah, where do you kind of start from, Charles? Stunt only, right?
You can talk about your control line, and if you do RC, you can talk about model aviation.
All right, so it all starts back when I was probably about I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years old, sitting on the basement stairs watching my dad build airplanes. He had this basement full of models, control line, RC, you name it, it was down there. And I used to sit on the stairs and watch. And then I was able to talk him into building me a plane. We go to schoolyard and fly it. So I was probably about maybe 6, 7, 8 and learned to fly, and was able to fly some combat ships, probably like 7, 8, 9 flight streaks. And then then I got to fly these RC planes, and they were pretty cool. I did that for a little while until I got to realize there was other things in life, like cars and girls. And so about 2014, my son Joseph was cleaning out my father's garage with him, and he finds these airplanes, and he says to my dad, "Grandpa, what's with the airplanes? Can we fly them?" So my dad takes him out, and he starts flying again. And my dad was into electric years ago when it first came out with the NiCads and everything, and he thought how cool it was because it was quiet, didn't smell, didn't make any noise, right? So he was back on. So he got back into the electric kick. And long story short, he ends up going to Flushing Meadow Park in Queens. And he meets a guy named Will DeMauro, who is at the time Mr. Electric. my dad goes all out building all this electric stuff, and he convinces me to go to Flushing Meadow one day. So I go there, bring the kids out, and he convinces me, "I want you to fly again." So I pick up and I'm able to still fly. But I had never really seen stunt. And I remember watching this guy, Jose Modesto. Some of you know him. I remember watching this guy. I'd seen a couple of guys fly. It was all pretty neat. And I watched this guy, Jose, go out there. And like the plane stops for a minute. And I watch him pull over into the wing over. And I watch him pull out at about 3 feet. And it was like, wow. And I watched the rest of the pattern. He was, it was really good. So I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I went back and I had a 4Runner that I got in 1989 for my birthday. That was never built. So I went and built it. And then I started 2015. I started flying. And then I got this bright idea that I would build a real stunt ship. I don't know if you guys know Cena. Some of you probably know Cena pretty well, or Cena. So Cena used to live in New York. Cena gave me a Vegas. He had it half built. And I took it and I built it. And I didn't really know much about trimming or anything. So I go out and I fly, and it wasn't bad. But so I asked Jose, can you fly my plane? And he says, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? I was like, all right. He goes, better yet. He goes into the trunk of his car and hands me a plane. So, okay, I fly his plane for the rest of the summer. And it was pretty good. I mean, it was a good plane. And so then he gives me a set of cores, and he gives me some numbers from Big Jim, and he says, go build yourself a plane.
Yeah.
And so I build a
That's
plane.
cool.
I built a plane in 2016. I name it High Voltage. That was the all red one. I go to the Nats for the first time out of pretty much nowhere. And this guy, Dennis Adamison, is the event director. And I finished second in advance and I lose by 0.33 points.
Wow.
Mike Walden.
To who'd you lose to?
Mike Walden.
Mike Walden. Okay. Good
I've
pilot.
still never beaten Mike. I got to catch him one day.
Yes.
Yeah. Then after that, I said advanced was why fly advanced? I'll go fly open. So I think I got humbled in 2017. I missed the cut by about 3 points to Frank Williams. So I said, all right, I can't do that again. 2018, I ended up finishing 9th. 2019, 13th. 2020, 7th. 7th hurt too because I made some stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
And then 21, I end up making the top 5 with some other guy named Joe. It was the Joe and Joe show on the top 5 day.
We were the newbies, man, with no wings.
That was this year, Joe. See, Joe and I follow each other. So we make the top 5 together, and then we both shred a wing on the same day on the second flight.
Wow. That is amazing.
Well, Joe did leave out a couple of important parts, something like he's most famous as being the father of Steve Daly. So,
yeah, I can't.
I'm teasing him about that, but he's got his sons involved, and they're both terrific flyers. And
Good
Steve
judges.
and Joe were part of the American team and the last world champs. That's kind of a big thing.
Yeah, congratulations, Joe. I forgot about
especially
that.
for those of us who've never been able to do that. So
Yeah, so I got at the team trials, I just finished just out of the money. And of course Steven qualified as a junior. And then so this other guy decided he wasn't going to go, so I had to be ready to go. So I got the opportunity to go to Poland. And it wasn't without excitement. So I got a phone call from Joe, and Joe's like, I'm not going to go. You have my spot. So then I'm going, but I don't have a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent the time putting Steven's stuff together. And so I was like, all right. So I hurried up and rushed and built the plane. And that's the one that folded the wing on top 20 day. So then we're 9 days from leaving from Poland. I'm without a plane. But I'll tell you how good the stunt community is. So Tom Smelter, one of the guys up in Pennsylvania, pals around with Mark Weiss and Craig Gunder. He loans me 2 planes. He loans me a Shark and an Axioma. He just says, come take them, do whatever you got to do with them, and hopefully bring them back. So really just how great people are here, right?
No kidding.
Here, here.
Yeah, so we didn't want to, so we ended up taking, Steven ended up flying the Axioma. I flew his Shark, both good planes. You know, so it was, and going to Poland was pretty cool. It was interesting. You know, if I could have scored on, I couldn't score on one circle. If I could have scored on one circle, I probably would have done a lot better. I may have gotten to the top 15. I was just there. I just couldn't score on circle one for whatever reason.
You did well, Steve. You did well. Or Joe, you did good.
Yeah. Listen, I kept the
Absolutely.
kid behind me though. He was trying to catch me and Howard. I'm not listening to this. 11 hours in the plane, listen to him how I beat me.
I know. I
Not gonna
still-
let that happen.
I got to survive a few more years till he makes open with the rest of us, and then he can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Oh.
How old is Steve now, anyway?
He is
About six-
18. He's 18.
18?
Yeah.
So he's ready for open. Well, is he gonna mess
He's
around
got
in
another-
advanced or anything, or?
He's got
just put him
another
in open?
year. He's got another year in senior in the U.S. and he's got another
does
2 years in junior for the Worlds. They go to 21.
Okay, that's
Alright.
great.
So hopefully he'll get a chance to make another team.
Well,
Um,
between your kids and the Alamoff boys and everything like that, the junior and senior age groups have been a whole lot more exciting the last few years than they had been for a while. So
Here, here.
there's some terrific talent there.
Fantastic.
You
guys,
better
let me
start
elaborate-
introducing
let me-
them to girls or something like that.
I've tried.
Don't,
I've tried.
don't
Steve.
do
that.
All right. So,
Listen, I
That'll
tried.
ruin 'em.
Steven's got a girlfriend, but he still comes down here, and you know,
okay.
he liked the Axioma so much we had to build one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I got
Let
a.
me welcome some people who came in since you started. Stuart Mossman. I'm Stuart Morrison. Thank you, Stuart, for coming in. Appreciate it. And Philip Bailey, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And Sparky's here. Thank you, Sparky, for coming in. I appreciate it.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the big boss there.
Yeah.
So
Must be Tom. How much to Big Dog?
yes. So continue on, Joe. And I'd love to see your repair or your plane, anything you have in your shop. I love looking at shops. So if you would treat us to your shop, I'd appreciate it if you can.
You gotta just don't mind the mess. There's stuff
Oh,
everywhere.
that's, a stallion does not have a clean stall.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
That's good.
That's
Never
a
heard
good
that.
line. I
That was
like
good.
that.
That one's going into the data bank.
Yeah, me too.
I work out of my basement. I got like a probably 8x8 room that's about maybe 6.5 feet high, 7 feet high, maybe. So I'm always banging a wingtip or something.
That
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
For sure.
I'd seem to resemble that remark.
Yeah, I'll show you the one I just finished.
All right, I'll make it big here. Ooh.
All right.
Oh,
Ah.
very pretty.
Ooh,
Is
yeah.
that the repaired one or is that a new one?
This is the repair one. This was the 21 plane.
Wow.
And how much does it weigh now?
With a battery on board, 61 and a half.
Nice.
My
Not
goodness.
It only gained a half an ounce. I actually, because it had a lot of clear on it to begin with, so I sanded all the clear off. So then I re-cleared it.
And what
Bill,
size
is that
wing
the
is
one
that? What size wing is that, Joe? Is that a 60 inch?
Just shy is about 685, maybe 690.
Okay.
Is that the one that has a K&B paint on it? Not K&B,
Yeah.
but epoxy paint.
Yeah, class
Wow.
coat. Mhm.
That is a big plane for 6-ounce finish.
Yeah,
Wow, you're gonna have to show us how to do that.
no,
Gracious.
lots of sanding.
Oh, I know that feeling, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you
so,
so much for showing that, Joe. I appreciate it.
yeah, if I'll show you the Axioma we Steven built. If I can get it.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. I like that color scheme.
Steve's going back, isn't he, Joe?
That is gorgeous.
They're going
Well,
back.
he loved the Axioma so much. He loved the way it flew. I mean, it fit his style. I mean, it's just a good forgiving plane to fly to begin with, and it's got one hell of a corner. So I talked to Sharat, and I was able to get a set of wings so we can make a mold. And the fuselage is actually a shark mold that I borrowed from Arestus. So it was our first attempt at molding, which it came out not bad. It's probably about 2 or 3 ounces heavier than we wanted, but not bad for the first time. So
Wow.
Is it
that
molded
looks
out of
nice.
glass or carbon fiber?
fiberglass, half-ounce cloth over balsa.
Wow, very
Wow,
nice.
That's nice.
Boy can build, Joe. He can build.
Yeah,
Mm.
no kidding.
Oh,
Wow,
Wow.
thank you. That is awesome. That Axioma looks beautiful. So does your other high voltage.
thank
Hey,
you.
where's mine?
Where's yours?
Yeah,
Out in the garage.
no, that's
No,
okay. That's okay.
I'm not showing any of my low-class airplanes anymore.
Let me welcome Howard Rush and Mark Wise. Thank you for coming in, guys. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Good to see you guys.
Hi, Joe's.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, here's the one. Here's the one that's Mark's. And Howard, you like the color, Howard?
I can't see it.
Hang on a second. I don't know why Lynn's coming up and Lynn's camera's off. 1 second. Let me try this again.
I see Mark, nobody else. And he's just,
It's not my camera that's off.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I was just muted.
Yeah, let me try this again. I don't know what's going on. Just hang on a second, Joe.
something's
hold
wrong.
on to it. What is going on here?
Mark, your plane
Okay,
broke.
now I see Joe.
Joe, it's not good karma.
Looks red. Cool.
Hang on a second. What is going on? Let me try gallery view and then let me try this again. Remove spotlight and then spotlight.
I see, Len.
Yeah, I'm on here, Charles. I don't know.
It's working now.
Is it working out? Because I have a blank screen
No,
for
Oh, well, it just went blank.
what is going
yeah,
on.
I got Mark.
I got about 7 of
I
you.
just got to do the gallery view. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. So anyways, we do see it's just kind of smaller than I'd like it to be. What model is that again, Joe?
Happens to be a Starfire, an SV30.
Very nice. I wish I could make it big, but
Go up to where his. go up
Looks
to where
great,
the
Joe.
2 dots are and hit pin.
hang on, let me try that.
Go on his little picture, you'll see the blue.
Yeah, I did it. I did it. All right, you guys, everybody see the Starfire now?
I see it.
No, I still see Mark.
Oh, you poor thing.
You've been frozen since before you took your
Yeah, I don't
jacket
know
off.
why this is so strange. I mean, some of us can see it. That pin is not doesn't do it for everyone. Remove the pin and let me try what I normally do, which is spotlight. I don't know why the spotlight's not working.
Spotlight's black for me.
Yeah, I understand. This is the first.
Is it somehow connected to the lights in Joe's basement?
For some reason, I'm frozen on.
That is a beautiful finish.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I got a square around my picture. I don't know what that's
Yeah,
about.
Joe, what kind of paint is that?
This one is, believe it or not, this one, the orange is K&B Super Epoxy.
Wow. What a finish. Now it says Lynn.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Len has a yellow box around him.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I stopped my video, but that didn't change anything.
Warning,
Mhm.
warning.
Everybody's eating popcorn, Colin.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Charles, do you want me to go out and come back in?
Yeah, let's try that because for some
Okay.
reason it's focused on you.
Okay,
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.
no problem.
So, Joe,
Lynn.
is Colleen gonna make you some popcorn?
No, but we should look, everybody else is eating. I want it too.
Yeah. I already had a whole tub of popcorn earlier, so I would have some more, but I gotta, watch my salt intake,
Hey,
Or,
Joe, you're
Too late,
real
Joe.
big on my screen.
They're
Who
big on
is?
my screen.
Joe Daly or Joe Gilbert?
No, Joe Gilbert's really big on my screen. I can look up his nose.
I got
Oh,
Joe,
Lord.
I got Joe
I'm
Daly on
forward.
mine.
I'm leaning forward so I can see Joe Daly better. It doesn't do any good, but I think it does.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do like that. I'll
Really?
call it a
Yes.
ghost checkerboard. I'm not sure that's the right
Yeah.
term or anything like that, but that's really shining through.
Now this YouTube is acting so bizarre. That is so crazy. Now I have Mark. I have Mark Wise big when I was trying to get Joe Daly big. So I don't know what's going on, but what are they? What is
Yeah.
maybe something wrong with my Zoom client? I don't
That's
know.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, ghost checkerboard. That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool.
Hey, Charles, why don't you pass host or something like that? Maybe you should try to go in and out again.
All right, that's a good idea. It's a good idea. All right, so you're now the host, Dennis Adamson.
All
Wait,
right.
Sparky here. Sparky knows how to do the controls probably best. Hey, Sparky,
Sparky.
I'm gonna hand it over to you, Sparky, and I'll come back. Let's see here.
Boy, I was so close to a position of power.
Yeah, you almost had it.
I was almost there. Oh, well,
Almost nearly, but not quite hardly.
that's it. That's it. I could have been somebody.
Dennis, weren't you Pampa president once or twice?
Twice, yeah. They didn't learn their lesson the first time, so.
No, we're still recovering.
mm,
Oh, oh my God.
Mark don't speak up often, but when he does, look out.
Denny knows
Wow.
that Dennis knows that I love him and I admire him.
You know what?
And Mark knows that I hate his guts and I'm plotting his demise. So.
See? I don't blame you.
Now,
Oh, Lord.
I sent a note to Will Davis about Brodak and the usual. If you can use me this year at Brodak, give a shout. So
Absolutely. Oh,
I'm in the same boat. Now I see the ghost. You're finally full screen.
there you go. That's a good looking plane.
Yeah.
That is a pretty
actually, I'm
plane.
going back to see if Joe can repeat his hourglass maneuver from last year. So
Oh, gosh, I'm telling you.
Hey,
sorry, Joe.
Listen, I filed a protest. I only got a 10 for that maneuver. It had a start and a finish.
It had all the pieces in it. It 11 might have been the right score, but 10 certainly wasn't,
That's what I'm saying. It was more than an attempt. I just wanted a 12.
It was better than 11, actually. I mean, you had, like you say, you had a start, you had a finish, you had sort of enough turns in it, maybe a couple extras, but
And listen, it pulled out at 5 feet. I mean,
that's it.
So did you.
So did you? Yeah, so did Joe. So I'm not
Thank
sure
you.
anybody was even watching the airplane after after
Oh,
you
that was
slipped.
phenomenal.
Yeah, but
yeah, that was,
Thank
That
you,
was
Joe.
exciting.
Thanks for showing it.
yeah, that was
That's gorgeous.
There we
Yeah,
go.
it is.
Now he's big. Joe, now you're big.
so Joe,
Now we
I
can see it.
the other thing I didn't understand, is that your airplane or is that one of the kids?
which one? This orange
The
one?
The Starfire.
This is Mark Weiss. Look at the number on
Oh,
it.
it's Mark's?
Yeah,
Really?
82824.
I'll tell you why that is. Because Joe has felt so guilty about suggesting I run the Nats in 2019 and then become the Pampa president that he was trying to make up. So this is the
You're
beginning.
toast. That's all there is to it.
I'm
Joe's a
paying-
great friend and a skillful guy.
How do I hand this back to you, Charles?
Right, I took it over already, Sparky. I have it.
Okay.
Well, it's a beautiful paint job, that's for sure, especially that ghost
That's
work.
it.
Wow.
Thank you, buddy.
Charles, can I show you something? Can you make me big? Joe Gilbert?
Yeah. Yeah, make it big. Hang on a second. Let me get this mouse working here. Hang on. Ooh, replace.
Uh-oh.
All right, what is that, Joe? Ooh, a nobler.
That's nice.
D. Hill and Rusty Brown carved the airplane. And D. Hill
Wow.
bottom. Since 202, this has been given away at Tucson for a George Aldrich airplane. Not necessarily
Nice.
George
That's
Aldrich,
beautiful.
but nobody's brought a George Aldrich airplane to Tucson in several years. So they retired it. So I'm taking it back to D. But look at that airplane. Can you see how nice that is?
Beautiful.
That is very nice.
Rusty Brown. Y'all know Rusty?
Yep.
Anybody know Rusty? He designed. He built it. Look here.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
That is neat.
you
That's
got a little
kinda-
outrunner in it? Or,
Yeah,
And they've retired that now?
they retired it. Yep. Nobody's
Alright.
brought it over to Tucson for the same guy got it 4 out of the last 5 years. And there was no Noblers there except for his. So I said, it's time to put it in. So don't want to
Well,
take it.
I know John Wright took a red Nobler there when I was there in 2019.
It was a Gieske Nobler.
Oh, okay.
This is for George had the Peacemaker, the Nobler, the Duster,
Light Street.
yeah.
the Flight Streak, all that, but nobody brought them.
57 Nobler and the Magnum.
So that was kind of cool.
Magnum.
Thank you.
It's a shame they retired it.
That is a shame we retired.
That's a shame. They should have advertised if you bring a Nobler or bring a Aldrich plane, you might have a chance to win a trophy. I mean,
Yeah, because I'm darn sure taking my Magnum and gone.
80 and 75 and 60, there'd be a half a dozen,
Yeah.
no Peacemaker, yada yaddies, but
Yeah.
not there. So they've done that on several trophies. There's a Jack
That's
Sheep
nice, Joe.
trophy got retired, and I think maybe even the I-beam wing one got. There's several of them that nobody's showing up at their planes anymore like they used to. So they just, instead of having the same guy get it every year, let it
yeah.
go.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, who's going to keep it? Who's going to take it?
D Hill,
Oh, okay.
Rusty carved it and D put it together.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Give it back
That's
to D.
cool.
Yeah, it's
That's cool.
That's a shame.
Thank you, Joe.
no worries, y'all.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, guys, I'm out of here. I gotta go to bed. I'm gonna go to work tomorrow.
All right. Hey, Sparky,
look.
thank you for coming in, Sparky.
Take it
Cheers,
easy,
Spark.
Sparky.
Good to see you, Sparky.
Thanks for hosting, holding down the fort there. So
Oh, yeah. I'll be back in St. Louis a week from Wednesday for good.
All
all
right.
right.
We're good.
Yep. This place is just about cleaned out. I don't have any airplane stuff to work on here now.
So no more Saturday mornings at the field with John, huh?
No,
Oh, well.
I got one airplane here and that's it. And I have no tools. I don't have nothing.
What plane is that? The
Aegis,
behind you.
my Aegis.
Okay.
Brand
Oh,
new
wow.
one.
Yeah, hadn't been flown
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Still colder than hell, windy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of that going around.
Yeah.
Well, howdy. Woo.
I'll get back to Booter Park and start practicing out there.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm out of here.
All right. Good night,
Sparky.
Sparky.
Good
Take
night,
care,
Sparky.
Sparky.
Well, I'm gonna
Hey,
miss the
Charles.
Saturday morning at John's. That's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. I'm gonna miss all the craftsmanship at John's garage.
Yeah.
Saturday
Me
at John's
too.
garage. John's quite a craftsman, I tell you.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're the ones that showed me how to build my vacuum table to pull canopies. Of course, I do it with a Coke bottle over a form and a hairdryer, and that works too. But the two that didn't work that way, I tried it their way, and it worked fine both times. So
Welcome. Let me welcome
Live and learn.
Jonathan Carradas. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah, good. How you guys?
hey, John.
Good to see you. And it looks like Caffeine is making his way in here, and so is Frank Donnelly.
Ah,
Oh,
the smart guy from Delaware.
so
Yeah.
somebody must have spread the word about free popcorn or something, huh?
Yeah, I missed my bag. I don't know what happened. I didn't get it.
Hey, Charles, can I brag about Joe for a second?
Yeah, please do. We want to make him feel good and have him come back again.
Joe Daly, I mean.
Oh,
About,
well, in that case,
yeah.
Yeah, Joe's leave. The other Joe just left. No.
No, Joe's up there. Joe's up there giving me the finger.
Yeah.
no, he's just
Joe.
showing you how to stuff your Christmas turkey. That's all. So,
Now, about I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe, this idea came to me about having Pampa regional championships to get more people to fly, with more competition and get them tasting, maybe going to the Nats and maybe even trying going to the team trials and see how far you can go. And the very first person who said they were in was Joe Daly, which I really appreciate. And he was also nice enough to accept the fact that we probably needed to move it out of New York and we put it into New Jersey, even though his site is one of the most famous sites in Control Line at Flushing Meadows. And Joe is going to be the CD of that event, or something like that, because maybe you want to fly in it. I just thought about that.
Yeah, we're gonna nominate somebody to become a CD. I haven't decided.
Okay.
Mark, keep
But
your
it's
head
going to
down.
it's going to be in mid-September. I don't have the dates in front of me.
September 16th and 17th in Bridgewater, New Jersey.
Yeah, the Middlesex Club. It's a nice field.
Yeah, beautiful site.
Beautiful site.
3 circles.
Yep, we're going to have a matter of fact, we're having a Zoom meeting tomorrow night. Joe called it so we can start the planning, get the word out, and try to get as many guys who want to come. The other one is in October. That's in Florida. The KOI co-sponsored by Pampa, and I hope before next January we have about 5 of them. We need some in the Midwest and in the far West. So again, the idea is just to take existing events, not to headline Pampa, just Pampa be kind of an underwriter of sorts. And maybe we get some new members, maybe people will see what we do, and get more people flying in contests. I think that's the only way you get better. So since my first place in beginner 9 years ago, I'm hoping to get back to advance this year. So that's my game plan anyway. So Joe, thank you for everything you do, and you're a good guy, a good friend.
Thanks, Mark, and thanks for putting up with me nominating you for all these positions.
Well,
We're not done yet. We're not done yet, Mark.
No, since then I have a psychiatrist, a cardiologist, and some other gist. I don't know what the other one is.
Mark, you love it. You wouldn't have it any other way, Mark.
You're right. You're right. So,
Very good.
Thanks, Charles.
My pleasure. Let me welcome Caffeine. Hey, Caffeine,
Hi.
thanks for coming in. And did you happen to go flying? You mentioned getting out of the hospital. You had aspirations to fly the following weekend, and I'm hoping that it went well for you.
It did. In fact, I flew all my planes last weekend. My Cardinal, my Banshee, and my Factor, and I have posted some videos on YouTube and on Stunthangar of my progress doing the Lazy 8 and inside loops, and yeah, it went pretty well.
Very good. Lazy 8. That's great. That's you're on your way to flying inverted.
Yeah, there was actually one flight that I made like one full lap of inverted flight, but unfortunately it wasn't recorded. But I'm getting more used to it, and I can do it becomes a natural reflex when the plane starts to fly inverted. I don't really I don't have to think that much, because previously when you realize that when you finish thinking, you realize it's too late. But now it's just like natural reflex, and then okay.
Well put, caffeine. It's
Yeah, I
too
love
late.
that. That is perfect. Yes.
Yeah,
So much
it's
easier to do this when you're not thinking.
yep.
Yeah.
Somehow I can have the right reflex subconsciously. Yeah, and yeah, I know it's getting there. I will master all the patterns in the future.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. You will. We all agree with you that you will. And that's the first thing you have to do is just say it and believe it.
Yeah.
And then
Yes,
just
yes.
pursue it. You know,
Uh-huh.
so having that personal belief, even before it actually manifests itself, you're on your way. So that's
Persevere. Persevere.
Yep,
and
and luck. Yeah, one thing happened. Like shit happened on my last flight. I broke my lines. You know.
You broke your lines?
Yes, but fortunately, it was on Benchy. So, and the Benchy is fine now. No harm, no foul. It's just when it happened, it just make like inside loop, like
Right.
the down line was the one that broke, like so it's just keep going up, going up, going
Right.
up.
I
Yep.
understand. I've experienced
Yep.
that. Yes. So one line broke. Okay. I thought when you said lines broke, I thought you had both lines break, but you only had one line break. Okay.
Yep. Uh-huh.
I don't know. It sounds like caffeine and your buddy Carl have to compare notes there, huh?
Yes. Yes. And now when Carl, he actually only broke a prop. What did you break?
Well, nothing.
So he's able to bring the plane
Nothing.
down. And it just,
Yep. Just
Tell Carl he's in second.
yes.
Caffeine beat him.
And your plane had wheels. That's more
Yes.
impressive because Carl's it was a combat plane. You didn't have to worry about the wheels or the landing gear. So that's really impressive. That's very good.
How many loops did you do, Kevin?
when the line broke,
Yeah.
Yeah. How many loops did you get out of it?
5, I guess, 4 or 5.
Oh, try for 6
Perfect.
next time.
Just
Very
try not to
good.
have a next
It'll
time.
bloody
That's
happen
better.
again.
So
I have the picture if you want to see it.
yeah, I do. And
Yeah.
where did the line break at? Did it break at the termination or halfway down? Where did the line actually break?
Well, let me share. Let
Go ahead.
me log in. Let me join with my iPhone first. Wait.
Okay.
wait.
While you do that, let me welcome Frank Donnelly. Hey, Don. Frank, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing well.
Oh, I have a question for you, or for Mark, one or the other. The Northeast Regionals, is that going to be a combination of the Flushing contest and the one that Middlesex usually has at North Branch? Going to combine them?
It's gonna combine them the two a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna the winner of Expert will actually win the Gene Schaefer Memorial Cup, which was usually given out at Flushing. So so we're gonna bring that Expert over, and Jim Vagani and the Middlesex crew, they usually had a Pampo weekend. So they'll be holding it later on. They are having Classic in August.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're actually holding like 2 events, because normally they'd hold one, but it looks like they'll hold 2. I was able to talk Jim Vagani to get us the field, and
Oh, excellent.
it's a pretty good central low spot. Good field.
So it's going to be 2 days, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 days, and we're gonna work the format out. Want to do something a little different with an Expert at least. But we'll work through that. I gotta talk with the guys from Middlesex tomorrow, and Mark, and
You have
Let
any
me know what you
judges?
come up with.
Joe, you have any judges yet?
I have one. I have 2, I should say. I have this guy Joe Daly, not me, the other one.
Yep.
Who I refuse to fly in front of. Because he knows all my mistakes and scores me. He doesn't even watch the flight. He already puts the number down, so I can't fly.
That's not good.
And then I'm going to get this guy, Mark Weiss. You ever heard of him?
Yes.
He's
We'll have,
okay.
we'll have at least 2 Nats quality judges, or at least people that judged at the Nats. I'm working on a few others.
Good. It'd be a
How
good time.
about hotel recommendations up there?
So I was looking, I was looking, I was talking to the real boss, my wife, because I'm trying to con her into coming out to New Jersey for 2 days. So first I was like, oh, we'll just drive there because it's like an hour and 15 minutes, 20 minutes for me. And then she looked at me with the price of gas, and we should just stay there. And I was like, oh, all right, you're in, and you're gonna tabulate and stuff. So, but yeah, there's a couple comfort inns. There was a Marriott. There was
Okay.
like a Hampton, and I know Tom Luciano was looking to see if he could kind of gain how many people may show up, and we're going to try and get a block of rooms. So we'll work on that stuff to try and save a few bucks. And so
Yeah, then in I think it's around, I don't have my calendar, I should know this, but somewhere around the 8th, 9th, or 10th is Triple Tree Joe Knoll week. And the first weekend, we're going to have some combat contests, which I think is going to be just awesome. Great for the spectators.
Absolutely.
If they don't
Watching
get it.
Pattern, I think only Pattern guys can watch Pattern. I think that's the way it works. Watch Stunt. Then Stunt Camp on Thursday, open flying all week. And then Friday and Saturday, the Stunt contest. So it'll be a great week. It'll be a great week.
Sounds like it.
yeah, Mark, just to warn you, I may be showing up, Mark,
Oh, God.
and I'm going to bring that guy Jose with me too.
Oh, very good. Oh, very good. Hey, see if you can bring Jose in here.
Oh well, he's a little technically challenged at times, but we'll
Well, a lot of us are. We may know way. I can help him if he was to PM me on the Stunthangar forum. We can do a private session. I can show him how to get in here and all that.
I'll drag him in one of these nights when he's
That'd
back.
be great.
He's still in the Dominican Republic. He's really struggling. He's got his own private flying field off the beach.
Oh yeah.
Put it ahead.
Mark, is that the second weekend in April?
May.
May. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That'd be second weekend is 11, 12, and 13.
That's
For
it.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 11, 12, and 13. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, guys, let me interrupt real quick. I want to welcome Tim Just. This is his first time coming in by himself.
Hi,
Thank
Hi,
you,
Tim.
Tim. I appreciate that.
Eric. Come on, Eric. Just.
Yeah, you're muted, Tim.
Hey,
There we
if
go.
I can figure out how to do this, Jose can.
Yes. Why don't you call Jose and tell him, hey, I figured it out. You can do it too. Thank
Tim,
for
you don't
coming
look
in. I
as
appreciate
tall
it.
as you normally are.
I don't have my thick shoes on.
Oh, Lord.
No platinum.
Cameras can be deceiving.
That's right.
So we all should look like that. Let's look big. Okay, we look big.
I'll tell you what,
Yes.
there are a lot of good flyers on
Very
this
good, Joe.
one.
You look scary, Joe.
Oh,
You
yeah.
look big. You look very good.
Hey,
Let
Mark,
me,
you
catch
you
up on
almost
the-
have a quorum, don't you? So
Yeah, let me catch up on the chat box. I don't want to ignore these guys, as I really like the chat box as well. You're part of the show. And let me see here. So making model airplanes, he provided a like. Thank you very much. And then Dennis Adamison said earlier, like delivered. See you in a bit. Tom Rammel, he provided us a like. Thank you, Tom. And Tony Sanbendetto, he provided us a like. Thank you very much. And Brent Williams says, howdy, folks. And then the T-Bone 1260, that's Tom Luciano. He says, your controls are right on the viewer's end. And he said, hey, Joe. I don't know which Joe he's referring to. Maybe Joe
Daly.
Daly or Joe Gilbert. I don't know which
No,
one.
he loves-
He's talking about the other Joe.
He loves
Okay.
Daly more.
Hey,
He loves what?
He loves Daly more than me.
no,
I
no,
don't know
listen,
how, I don't know how that
nobody
can
loves
happen.
nobody loves Joe Gilbert more than me. I'll tell you what. I met this guy in 2016 at Building 180. He come running over and he went, "Hey, how you doing, Joe Gilbert? How you doing?" Shook his hand out and shook his hand. Hey, your name's Joe too. Come on,
Yes.
Joe. Give me one of
Yeah,
those.
he's
Joe.
a great guy. I met him at Brodax, and it was
Yeah.
a kick in the pants. I really enjoyed meeting Joe and his wife, Colleen.
Hey, how you doing?
I sat next to him at the banquet, and he had saved me a seat, and it's just so I could help him carry all his trophies to his car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that
You know,
sounds like
I
Joe.
thought he wanted to hang out a little bit, but he just needed help.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah,
It was
Colleen
fun.
can only probably hold 2 trophies, and then all those trophies he's a carry needs help, right?
Our table looked pretty impressive if he would have spread them out a little bit.
Wow, amazing.
We won on the table, didn't we, Tim? Our table won.
Very good. And I have a few more chats.
Yeah, we
here.
won banquet, didn't we, Joe?
It's great.
And Brett Williams says that Roger Kramer had his maroon Nobler at VSC this year.
He sure did.
Was that a Gieske Nobler or was that a George
He had,
Aldridge?
I think, he had that trophy I showed you 4 times out of the last 5 years.
Oh,
and-
Roger Kramer did? Okay.
They wanted to be somebody different, but nobody ever came. So finally they decided, yeah, Rogers, that airplane started out with a gas engine and now it's electric and it still looks very, very nice. Roger's a good builder also.
Yeah, I seen his Tony at the at a contest. It was absolutely gorgeous. Him and his and Gordon Delaney's were, I mean, they're like duplicates, except for one had a red tail, one had a blue tail. They're both beautiful. And let me continue with Philip Bailey. Man, you're talented, man. He gave us a like as well. Thank you very much, Philip. Appreciate that. And then Night Nav said, like sent. Thank you very much, Night Nav. And then Mark Lumen. Whose speaker is that? And then Mark Lumen says he's also a member. Thank you very much, Mark. He has a moniker near his name. Mark Lumen said, got you like, watching tonight, staying quiet tonight. Bob McDonald staying the night, and he has already tuned in. Very good. And then Mark Lumen tuned in on his way back, turned in on his way back to Michigan. We'll hopefully have a safe trip, Bob McDonald. And we're all caught up, so we can carry on. Thank you very much. So Tim, you made it back safely. Are you at home, Tim, or where are you at? Tim Jess, where are you at?
Hang on a second. Yeah, I'm home now, and I traveled with Dennis Nunez. So we got home yesterday, and it's 7 hours from the contest site to my house, and it's 7 hours from my house to Dennis's. So he stopped here on the way, and he just texted me about an hour ago that he was back in Stockton.
Fantastic. That's great. This was your first time at VSC or not?
First time as a competitor. I went a couple of years ago and spectated. I think when Chris Cox was there last. It was a great contest. We have to promote that and get more people coming. It was really, really fun. It was well run. We had really good weather when we needed really good weather. And it was a good time.
Very good. Very good.
We got to brag on Dennis. Did he get 3rd or 4th?
He was 3rd.
Classic? 3rd in Classic.
Yeah, flying his Gladiator.
Did very well.
Yeah.
He's a good flyer.
He was excited on the way home.
Good for him. You'd have been chasing him, Tim.
Oh yeah, we'll get back. We'll be back.
It'll be all right.
And we have Old Control Line Pilot. He's also a member of our YouTube channel. And he says, like given. Thank you very much, Bob. And he says, bit of a rough day today, so shutting down early. Cheers, all. Well, sorry to hear about that, Bob. Take care. I look forward to seeing you. Hopefully come in here Friday. That'd be awesome. So anybody may need progress on a build, or anybody been doing any flying they'd like to share with us? Yes, Jonathan, go ahead. You're muted, Jonathan. Jonathan Karatis.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
The grandkidlets have just come home from school, so it's a bit crazy around here. So I've just put it on mute. I finished this almost a year ago actually, and I haven't had an opportunity to fly it yet. But it's a scratch build Spitfire that I made.
Oh, let me make it big.
The wings detach. I'll just show you.
Oh, cool. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty green. Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice, Jonathan. Very nice. You said this is scratch built?
Say again?
Is this a scratch build or is it kit built?
Yeah, I designed the thing myself,
Wow.
and sorry, I'm trying to do three things at once here. Yeah, I designed it myself, and I was going to do it with a the earlier version, you know, with the Razorback thing on the back, you know, the not the bubble hood. And when I actually was building it, you couldn't get blown bubble hoods in New Zealand at the time. There was a shortage. So I got the biggest one I could get hold of. And it came out okay. But I'm thinking of maybe, you know, rebuilding that, blowing one myself. But I was frightened it was going to be too heavy, but it's gassed off, and it's still reasonably porky, but it's down to about 58 ounces. It's got an LA46 in it. So hopefully it's going to perform reasonably well.
That'll be fine with that big wing.
Yeah, it's quite a big wing. It's actually, the wing is a modified Calamity Jane wing. And I blew that up by...
Good thick one.
Sorry?
That'll be fine then. Calamity Jane's got a good wing in it. I built one of those way back when. That was a nice wing.
Yeah. And I built this one because we were also short of decent balsa at the time. I used supermarket meat trays, and you can get a sort of a fairly hard pressed, what do you call it? Just you know, the blown foam, styrene foam. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of got a polished finish on one side and a slightly rougher finish on the other, and it's about 3 mil thick. And I made the ribs out of that. I actually put it on Stunthangar at the time. There's a bit of stuff on there with it. And so the wing turned out at, I think it came out at about 14 ounces. So it wasn't too bad. The weight's in the fuselage. So anyway, I'm dying to get that in the air. I might try it off my chair, and then when I get my operation, I can stand up and do it properly, you know, standing in the middle. But
can I make a suggestion? Rather than modify that one, build a second one. It's so hard to cut one up that you've been flying and make it work. Just build a second one. You're going to say you were thinking about building another one and putting the other canopy on the turtle deck. Just build a second airplane.
No, the canopy. Yeah, well, I was going to take the canopy off maybe and just blow a proper scale canopy.
Okay, I misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah, and
I thought you meant she's going to change the whole back of the airplane. I said, no, just build another airplane.
No. Yeah, well, I would. That's right. No, so, but no, I've got my operation coming up in about 3 months' time. 2.5 months? 2.5 months' time. See, we're all behind here with all the surgery in the national system, and all the private surgeons are flat out as well trying to catch up. So I'm sort of limping around here like a wounded butterfly, really. It's not much fun, but I can still fly out of my chair. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's great. Now, I'm curious about the finish.
Are you having, excuse me, Charles.
I'm curious about the finish. What is the finish? Is it paint?
Well,
what kind of paint is it?
I tend to try and get to the beach the quickest way possible. So I don't waste, a lot of time. I sort of lose the will to live trying to get an absolute fantastic mirror finish on them, because I smash them up so fast. So what I tend to do, well, up until now anyway, I've changed my ways a little bit after watching Sparky cover his planes with silk span. I'm starting to do that. But what I was doing in the past was just raw balsa, and then I would seal it with clear lacquer or a primer, automotive primer, a acrylic lacquer based primer, and rub it down, give it another couple of coats, rub it down, so on, till I was happy. And then I would spray on the green where I needed to. If I hold it up, you'll see what I mean.
It looks good. Wow, it looks good.
It's beautiful.
I would do the ink marks, and then I would put the covering on the wings, and then I'd make the markings myself on the computer and glue them onto the model, and then give it a lacquer, and then sand it down, and then give it another lacquer. I'd give it, say, 3 coats of lacquer. And I find the automotive lacquer, acrylic lacquer, is not entirely fuel proof, but it's not bad. Unless you spill raw fuel on it and leave it there, it'll actually work quite well. So I'm happy with that. And some of my aircraft now, they're 5 or 6 years old, and they've been thrashed to bits, and the paintwork on them still reasonable, so it works okay. So I'm happy with that.
Very good. I look forward to you flying that, and look forward to hearing reports about it. That'd be great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for showing that. I appreciate that, for showing us your airplane.
No worries.
And looks like Al Fierro's in here. Hey, Al, how are you doing?
Good, doing good.
Hey, Charles, Caffeine was setting up something to show off for us, right?
Okay, yeah, right. Thank you for reminding me.
Hi, I'm ready.
All right, man, go ahead.
Let me share my screen. So wait. I'm gonna share the photos and the videos. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. Be great.
Yep. So this is how I fit my 3 planes into my small car.
Oh, good. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah. I brought all 3 planes that
Oh, very cool.
ready to fly. So Cardinal, Factor, and Banshee.
Very nice.
And yeah, this one is the Banshee. After that line broke.
Wow.
It's still in one piece. So remember that I complain a lot about my tall grass at my field. Somehow it's like a blessing in disguise for me, because it gives me a cushion, like a very nice cushion when I crash,
Yes, yes.
I have crashed a lot actually, but with this tall grass, the damage was not that bad, So
Interesting.
yeah. So this is where the line.
Oh, okay. Oh, there. Oh, interesting.
Wait, it's out of ways. That's unusual there.
Yeah.
Is that where do you use a metal line clip to hold the handle on?
What's that? Sorry.
When you put your handle away, do you use that little metal clip over the?
Yep.
That's probably what did that. Your handle rubbing up against the line rubbing up against that little metal clip.
Or maybe if he's flying combat, if you're flying combat, they break there sometime.
Yeah, I've got a lot of kinks on the lines before flying, so probably that's also the reason.
Yes.
Yeah, and so yeah, let me share the video right now.
All right, thank you.
So I'm going to show you with the Banshee one, when the Banshee first and then the Factor second.
All right, thank you.
It's not a full pattern. It's not gonna be very interesting, I guess, but
Oh,
yeah.
no, it'll be interesting. It's okay.
Yep.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's with the Banshee with LA25S, and last one is
Now,
with
hang on a
my
second. Hang on a
Factor.
second, Caffeine.
Yep.
Hang on 1 second.
Yep.
You guys detect maybe that lean sagging? I thought the motor was kind of sagging when on the top of the loops or near the loop. Do you guys notice that?
Outside, just a kiss.
Yeah.
So what would be the remedy for that lean sagging for Caffeine?
Yeah, I after reviewing the videos and try to time it, I'm aware that it's a bit too fast. I got like 4.95 seconds. So yeah, it's a bit too fast, and the handle spacing it's 4 inch, where the bell crank size for Banshee is 3 inch. So I guess the line handle spacing is also too wide.
All right, maybe, yeah, but I was just thinking that you're losing performance when the motor starts to lean sag. That would help you
Okay.
if the motor was able to come on instead of being exhausted.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I noticed. And this is not a criticism of you, Caffeine. I
Yep.
just want to help you and our audience recognize that sound is called a lean sag, and you lose a person's losing performance. So maybe a little click in the needle out, a click or two.
Yep.
And if that doesn't happen, sometimes it could be over propped. Isn't that right, Joe and everybody else, all the experts?
The tank can be lowered toward the gear kiss too, I think. They help that out. Just a kiss.
Yes. Yeah, there's plenty of possibility, and you know, when flying the Banshee, when it start going up at the top, I kind of losing my tension. I was like flying a kite when it's go up like this. So sometimes it's kind of hard to make it really smooth.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
What prop do you have on that engine, by the way? What prop is that?
What's that, Charles? Sorry.
What size prop are you using on that LA25?
It was 10.6.
That's a lot of
Did you say 25 or 35?
25.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too much prop, I think, for a 25.
9.4 APC be hard to beat.
Okay, I will try with 9.4 props.
I think you'll like it. The 9.4, I think you'll like that. You'll like it much better than that 10. That was a 10. What size was it?
10.6.
10.6. That's a lot of prop for a 25.
If you're running 58-foot lines, it'd be plenty long enough also for a 20 size airplane. Shorten the line, it'd go around a little faster, but you have more line tension everywhere from a little more speed across the earth.
Okay, sure. That makes
60
sense.
foot stretching it, in my opinion, for a LA25 on that airplane.
Okay. All right. Well,
You're doing up.
What's that, Joe? Sorry.
You're doing good. Keep it up.
Thank you. Let me share you with my factor, which is way more way better. I feel it's way better plane and engine run and everything else. So
all right, cool.
Yep. Can you see it?
Yeah, no lean sag.
That sounds
much better run.
Very good.
Very nice.
A much better motor run.
Nice.
That's coming on and coming off beautifully.
Yep, that's about it for me.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing. And we do have new people in our audience who maybe don't come in because they're afraid that they don't know nothing or something. So
I think you need to raise the tank on that one,
On which one?
on the vector.
The vector.
Oh, okay.
You go ahead and
Slightly
raise it.
leaning on the outside part, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, it did speed up. It did speed up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, but thanks for coming in and showing that, Caffeine. Like I said, we have people in our audience who don't know as much as what we think. We assume they all know everything that we know we're talking about, and we sometimes speak over people's heads. So, I want to be sensitive to our audience as well. So, thank you very much for showing your plane and you flying.
Yep. You're welcome.
Okay. Hey, Charles, can I do a quick share here?
Go ahead.
Jonathan Corrades, you said you based your Spitfire on a Calamity Jane, this one?
He's muted. Yeah, Jonathan, you're muted, Jonathan. Jonathan, you're still muted. That's okay. Now you can tell us the truth.
I can you hear me now? Yep.
Yeah, we hear you.
I made that wing. I think it was about 8 or 9% larger.
Okay.
And I modified the wingtips and I changed the shape slightly of the curve on the leading edge and the trailing edge. And
Okay.
I made the flaps. I did something with the flap. I can't remember if I made them narrower or shorter or whatever, but it was a while back when I actually made the wing.
But this is still where you started with this airplane.
It was the wing, yeah. I didn't take anything from the fuselage though.
Okay, okay.
Very
I have to
nice.
say,
Thanks.
whoever it was said they built one. It does look like it would be a really good flying airplane. So
They're a hell of a strong wing because they've kind of got a torsion box almost built into them with the second row of spars, you know.
Yeah, it's got dual spars, dual sets.
That really stiffens them up.
Very cool. Very cool. Like that.
I've got some
Calamity Jane. I thought I had a picture of it here somewhere that I could share.
I've got some photos of mine when I was constructing it on my phone here. It might be quicker to. I'll dig them out anyway while you guys carry on, and I'll.
Okay.
I can bring them up. Yeah.
Okay.
And Caffeine, I think Stan's World, he says, doing better than me for sure. So we have people out there in the audience who are not as experienced as a lot of us on this show. So
that's it.
Appreciate it.
This community helps.
Everyone starts going around and around and around first. Nobody does pattern first, y'all. Nobody.
Yeah. Very good.
What happened?
I don't know. Nothing happened. Just a moment of silence there.
No, I'm looking at the screen. Just says Zoom.
Lynn says, "What do you say, Lynn?"
Haven't said anything yet.
When you said you have a comment when it's quiet, I forget what it is.
Oh,
crickets.
Yes.
Sorry, crickets.
Hey, Alfiero, did you have I thought I saw something like a hand raised.
Yeah, I had the hand up and it keeps on disappearing, but I just had something to add to the regionals contest.
All right.
I think it's Friday the 15th. The Middlesex Asphalt Circle will be open for practice if somebody goes there early. And also I looked into getting a block of rooms at the Hyatt that's like right around the corner from Branchburg. And they'll give us a $30 discount. It's usually $189, and they said it'll be $159. So I'm working on that. So
thank you, Al.
It's a real nice place, and it's right on the highway, right around the corner. So
very nice.
Good.
Thanks, Al.
Okay.
Let me welcome Brent Williams. Hey, Brent, how you doing, Brent?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for coming in,
Hey,
and
Brent.
thank you for consistently being in our chat. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I got a question for Joe Daly.
Uh-oh.
Joe, you're a battery builder, and I was curious if you are a battery spot welder or a battery solderer.
Oh, so I would say on the soldering side.
Okay. What are you using? What's your method? What's your preferred stuff?
So my method is this guy Will Tomorrow. I give him the batteries.
Ah.
They're really hot
Somebody
iron,
else soldering.
and I turn him loose. I made the first couple packs, and then so we gotta in New York we have like I would say like a stunt team. Everybody has a specialty. So we give Will is the battery and charger expert. But the first one I ever did was with a hot iron.
So he's typically soldering also? Is that his method?
Yeah. No, I went over Will's house and kind of did one.
Oh, cool. So we're using like copper strips to do it, or what was your series
Nickel.
connections?
Using nickel. The nickel strips.
You're soldering the nickel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gets the trick is his iron has got. It's much bigger than it needs to be, but
yeah, there's 100 water. So
yeah,
They make it big. They make it big, Brent. Hang on a second, so you can show audience. All right, show us your iron here.
Yeah.
There's 100-watt weller. So.
You could brand with that.
Yeah.
It's pretty brawny. So, but the thing is, you got this. So I don't know if a lot of guys know on a big iron, you've got this big old tip on that that stores a ton of energy. So when you're trying to solder and get on and off a battery fast, you got to have all this stored energy to do it, because if you're trying to do it with a little tiny pencil tip, there just isn't enough stored energy, and all you're going to do is bake your battery. So you'll do a really good job of heating up your battery, but you won't transfer enough heat to make everything connect. So anyway, that's what 100-watt bad boy weller looks like. So
wow.
I've got an 80-watt one of those. I've been using it for over 40 years and it's still going. They go forever.
And one fun place to find them, if you don't want to buy a new one, is you keep your eye open for people that do stained glass work. They're the 100-watt weller is the bread and butter of the stained glass industry.
All right. Cool.
So if you happen to know anybody, or you're perusing, Craigslist or whatever else, and you see stained glass supplies, oftentimes there will be a 100-watt weller somewhere for sale for cheap. I bought 3 of these for like $10 each.
Wow.
That's
That's great.
Couldn't pass it up. So
yeah, I'll give you 20.
Yeah. Are you guys doing the longer versions of the 6S batteries, like what Dane was selling, like these? Is that what you guys are doing? Or are you doing 3x3 packs like this?
I think the longer ones.
The longer ones.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
So I use all 6S stuff.
Yep. Okay.
So these were the 2600 packs. These are like the original ones.
This is the 2600, just right before they discontinued the 2600s. So
yeah. So these are the 2800s.
Yeah.
And these are the B.
Oh, you're using the B?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And there is a difference.
They're nice for sure. Yeah, there's lower resistance, and
they run cooler. And back to back, same plane, same conditions. I mean, they're definitely they use less battery, like over 150 milliamps less.
Wow. From the A to the B?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they run much cooler too. Well, I mean, not much cooler, but you can definitely feel it noticeably.
So when you're pulling them out, are you feeling any heat at the point of the series connection, or is most of the heat you're feeling in the battery? In the battery,
just coming right out of it. Especially the center of the battery, the middle of the battery, you can feel it's always warm.
Okay.
But they're very consistent. It's not like one's hotter than the other. They're very consistent. They do run hotter than lipos. I mean, that's just the deal.
Do you chart what voltage per cell you're landing at? So you're landing at like 3.5 or 3.6?
Yeah,
volts?
about 3.5 usually.
So in my plane that I'm flying up here, which at elevation anyway, I was landing at 3.6 volts per cell, and that's in a 64 ounce plane with a badass 580 kilovolt and a badass 12.6 two blade. But I was landing right at 3.6 volts per cell. So
yeah, I'm landing around 3.5, maybe 3.4 if there's no wind, if we have no fan that day.
And which Igor prop are you running? Are you running undercambered or are you running?
No, I run a narrow, the 12.5 narrow. That's the only prop I run. They're all good, but that's the only one I run.
Okay. Yeah,
I never put one on I didn't like.
I've heard those pull a decent amount of amps, the Igor props, and with plus the RPM you run them out. You're running like 11,000 RPM, aren't you? Something like that.
No, probably about 9,600.
Wow.
The boost is 10.7, 10.8. On a day when we have when no air or no, we don't have the fan working that day. Maybe 11.2. The one that's the battery killer is the undercamber prop. We named it the battery killer. You put that prop on a plane, it clears up whatever trim problem you have on it. I'm not kidding. It's like a tractor. It's literally the tractor prop. I mean, it sticks level flight. The challenge is it uses up a lot of battery, and it doesn't like to break free from neutral. Like it segments the loops. But man, talk about a corner, a dead flat pull out of a corner and just go on to the next corner.
So is it the prop or is it the boost settings that you're giving that sensation? Like you're running it like Paul runs it, where he's not running a lot of brake and stuff like that, or are you?
No, it's definitely the prop, because you can put the narrow prop on with the same settings and it doesn't have the same effect. It's a little toned down, which is much more consistent. I fly my settings probably much higher than Paul does. I
talked to Paul. All right, I wrote him when he wrote back with his theories on how he sets up his stuff now, and it was quite enlightening. Fascinating. He has his settings turned way down. He has the rate is turned way up, but the levels are turned way down. So
yeah, there's 1,000 ways to skin the cat. You talk to Igor. Igor's the boost is on real. But then again, he'll fly lower. He'll fly much lower level lap speeds. He'll fly like 5.3, 5.4, and then when he pulls up a maneuver, the thing just like shoots like it's out of a cannon.
Yeah, the videos. You're lucky you were able to see him in person. The videos you see of Igor, you hear that thing. It sounds like it's changing gears all the time out there.
Yeah, so when he goes into a square 8, it's like a Formula One racer. It has a new gear. Every leg has a new gear.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, what is a B battery? I never heard that term. What is that?
It's one of the cells. They got an A and B. I'm not a batteryologist, but and Brent may be able to explain it better, but the A cell, I guess, got to do with the makeup of it and what is it? The amount of amperage it's good for. Right. I think the B has a higher amperage rating.
Yeah, the B in both sizes, in the 18650 and in the 21700, the B has a higher constant amp rating. So on the larger battery, like the 21700 size, it's a 4500 amp battery, which is massive, and in the 18650, the 2800 has I believe it's a 35 amp or 40 amp constant discharge, which is
35.
It's a lot.
And
it's
the A was 25.
Yeah, or 30 or something. Anyway, but it's
35.
Just the Bs overall have lower internal resistance, and they're more gooder, and they're more expensive.
Yeah, so I paid for the 1% performance increase.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, it's interesting to know if it's like a gee whiz and it's neat, or if it's necessary, because like if we're landing at 3.6 volts, we're not even pushing the battery yet. You know, it's still in the fairly flat part of its curve, its discharge curve. So it's I think it's neat that you're using the B. You're getting good data on it. So, but I don't know if it's necessary. It's awesome. I think they're obviously better, but I don't know if they're necessary yet. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's about 1% difference. Like flying wise, you don't feel a single difference.
That's good to know. It's good to know.
I mean, it's not like, so when you go from lipo to lithium ion, you feel a difference in the plane.
So what were you feeling? I know you and Paul have both commented on that, but throughout the flight, how would you describe the difference in a 6-cell lipo versus 6-cell lithium ion?
Yeah, so I guess I would equate it to more the lithium ion seems to have more torque. So like the lipo reacts faster and has a lot of punch, where the lithium ion likes to just drag through it. So you'd feel it like in a loop, at the top of the loops in a lipo, you could feel a very, very, very slight sag. I mean, minute. When you put the lithium ion on, it just drives right through it. It's just a little bit different drive. Now I know the lithium ions don't love to be ramped up and down as much either. They don't react as fast. The lipos love to be ramped up and down. You could abuse them all day long by turning the settings up. Lithium ions don't love. They're not really made that way. But you notice a difference in drive. But it's minute. But the 2 ounces less per battery pack or the selling point.
Yeah.
Better performance and it weighs less. So
have you stayed on your original packs, and did you notice degradation throughout all of the flying session, or are your original packs still
I haven't
flying?
seen any yet. And my challenge is they don't get a lot of cycles because I got 30 batteries. So it takes me forever to get through the cycles.
We're using the Spin 66, right?
Yes.
The old Spin 66.
Yeah, I got Igor timer in it. Even with the Ferretti system, the batteries you see same performance with them.
What I'd love to see is someone at your guys' caliber try the 4S and see if the voltage difference comes into play, because everything seems to run better at higher voltage, headroom, everything else. But it'd be interesting to see how one of these 4S 4200 or 4500 packs reacts, because there's plenty of capacity in something like this.
So we're going to have Tim try that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll let Tim work on that. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, the higher voltage is better, right?
And it's just about everything. Yeah. It's
your current
lower.
goes down, right? If your resistance is constant and your voltage is higher, your current will drop.
Yep. Yeah, it's the overall the 6S has been proven out pretty well, and it'll be interesting to see folks experiment at all of the skill levels or at the need levels, see how like 4S stuff would react, and just a curiosity.
I made up some 3D printed dummies of them to see if they'd fit in airplanes.
Did you?
Yeah, sent it to Tim so he could do it.
Yeah, Fred Underwood had me draw up a 5S, kind of a different orientation of how to lay out a 5S pack. So that was, I sent it to him. I don't know if he sent it to you, Howard. But,
No.
Pardon me 1 second. Pardon me. Hey, Joe, are you leaving Joe Gilbert?
Oh, no, I just laughing that I like
Okay.
nitro.
Okay.
6S is 30% nitro.
Just mute Joe Gilbert.
Go ahead. I'm just sorry. I thought he was waving goodbye, so that's why I say thank you for coming in. No problem. Continue on, gentlemen. Sorry.
we're chasing off all the people here with electric talk. So
yeah, not everybody.
Yeah, I've been working on this guy right here. It's a Shark 45.
Let me see here.
It's,
a top loader, huh?
Yeah.
Angular
And
inlet, I see that. Very nice.
so it was electric previously, but I changed the battery or the motor mount style. And I wanted to try and get some air into the top. So I moved the whole motor down so that hopefully there's some sort of like ram air effect going across the top of the battery compartment. So it looks a little different as the spinner is no longer centered. But we'll see if that, there's an input there, and then I was hoping to get some sort of airflow across this way to come across the battery. So
yeah, when you have the spinner not centered, it's important to come up with a reason for it.
Yeah.
And you've done well at that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the part of it too. Was I measured several times and still did it wrong. So I'm looking for ways to cover my tracks a bit. So I thought, well, it's going to turn into a scoop since I screwed up. So
that'll work.
Smaller spinner.
Well, yeah, it originally had a 2-inch spinner, and yeah, so I'll just admit defeat and move forward.
No, you don't. No, you come up with an excuse for it. You were doing well, and then you gave up right there at the last.
I gave up right there.
You could have gave us like it was a polar vortex or something.
So yeah, it should be fun. This plane with all of the equipment on board weighs 60 ounces, so that's pretty good for a shark.
That is good for a shark.
Yeah, that's good.
That's with the Success batteries on it and everything. So
that's amazing for a shark.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's foam wing. Dave Dennison up in Oregon built it. So it's
wow.
Yeah, he gave it to me. So he told me I could have it. So I got in the car and drove up to Oregon.
Did you hear his fire story?
No.
He's the one that he was waiting for somebody to pick him up on the way to a contest, and his batteries ignited there on the sidewalk.
Oh no.
I think it was he.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. So he ran a foam wing business back in the day. I don't know if you know. And he would use rubber cement to attach the skins, not contact cement. So if you coat the foam and the balsa with rubber cement and then let it dry for 15 or 20 minutes, you can stick the balsa onto the foam just like contact cement, and it sticks. It stays put. It's amazing. So the business he ran back in the day, they used to sell it as I can't remember the name of the adhesive they called it, but it was just Avery rubber cement that they put red food coloring in. So, but anyway, that's how it works. Yeah, if you're curious and want to experiment with something, coat both surfaces with rubber cement, let it dry, and then stick it on. And it's light. Rubber cement when it dries is very light. So anyway,
that's pretty slick.
Very cool.
So
I got here's the samples that
all right, make it big, Tim. Just 1 second. Make it big here.
I'll hold them up and Howard can describe if we
all
can
right.
do it.
Oh wow.
That one is red. That's red.
Now this one, what color is this one?
That's red.
Howard, there's something with you in red, Howard.
I don't remember doing that. I did all those.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't I make you four of the big ones?
Yeah, but I'm not sure where it is right now.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, but they're pretty handy for trying to figure out the layout in my new airplane.
Yeah.
They're 18650s.
They look bigger than that. That's what they are.
Yeah.
That one's 18. Yeah, you can't see which one I point to. The 7 one is 18650s, and the 5 one must be the big cells.
And Joe, I wanted to fly the big undercambered propeller, and I don't have enough overhead, so I can't fly it through a whole flight, and I wanted to.
Yeah, That's
So,
that's the magic prop, but man, you gotta it'll chew right up a battery left and right.
well, that's right. We're going,
Yeah, no. Hey, so you
Thank
want
you,
to
Tim.
laugh? You want to laugh? You see these? You know what they look like, right?
Let me make it big. Hang on a second, Joe. All right.
I have my traveling story here.
All righty.
So you see what they look? You know what they look like, right?
Yeah, look like a stick of dynamite.
All right, so you got to imagine this. We got I don't know, probably 24 batteries between me and Steven going to Poland. and you got to check them. I mean, you got to carry them on.
Carry them on. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I look up the thing. It says you can only carry 4 per person or something. I said 4. That's not enough. We wouldn't even. I said, well, we're gonna take our chances here. And so I wrap them all up in bubble wrap and I tape all the ends up, and they literally look like sticks of dynamite. Well, do you know I'm sitting there and then the bags are going through the X-ray machine. I'm like, here it comes. They're gonna be opening these bags. We're gonna get delayed. I'm like, all right, no, at JFK Kennedy, go right on, no problem. I'm like, I can't believe this. I thought for sure they're gonna open the stuff.
It's hard to believe.
So we get to the Heathrow in London, and I'm like, and we got a connecting flight's like an hour, so we're like running through Heathrow, and I'm like, we got to go through screening again, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna get jammed up. Here we go. I'm like, all right, hey, guess what? It goes right through. I'm like, wow, I can't believe this. And then because we're going to Poland, of course, so we have to run out onto like the runway and the tarmac, and they drive us out on a bus. We get on this interesting plane, but so we get to Poland. So on the way back, we're leaving Poland, and the guy tore the bags apart to cut them all open. He's like, "What are these for?" And I was so tempted. Well, the sticks of dynamite, but I said,
no.
I better not, because
no,
I'll be saying, I'll be stuck here for a while. But yeah, so that's the only time I got stopped was on the way. And then the best part is the guy cuts the thing open and he's looking at it, and he goes, "Oh, the ends are taped. Okay, you guys are good."
Ah.
So
they apparently they see them a lot.
But I mean, these are homemade looking. I mean, look. So it said they had to be labeled, so I made my own homemade label up on them. I'm like, there's no way. At least like the ones from Thunder Power, they look professional. I was like, but we got through with our willpower batteries.
All right, willpower like that. That's cool.
Joe, on those batteries that are end to end, do you literally solder the cells end to end, or is there some kind of a joiner in there, your nickel plate or something like that in between the cells, or are the cells literally soldered to each other directly?
No, he folds up the nickel in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's not that good.
I remember trying to make some 4-cell packs for sailplanes, and I think I achieved it once and then didn't achieve it the second time, and whatever. So I had one good battery pack and one not so good for the other airplane. But
do you know what thickness of nickel you used for that?
That's a damn good question. 5,000s, 8,000s? I have to check.
There's usually it's either a 0.15 millimeter nickel or 0.2 millimeter nickel is kind of the most common.
Yeah, so I told him that I went for the lighter 1.5 millimeter.
So it's interesting, there's so many different materials you can use when you're soldering that you don't have to use nickel. Like copper is like 4 times the conductivity of nickel, and like if you are spot welding, you're either going to be using copper with a plated steel on top of it to increase resistance, or just nickel strips stacked up. But where you guys are soldering them, you could use lots of things. Copper. There's braided copper. Like desoldering braid. That.
Make it big here. 1 second.
So,
yeah, we see it now.
Anyway, desoldering braid, or any sort of plated, braided copper type stuff on a soldered connection works pretty amazing, you know, and the conductivity. That's why I asked about the heat. If you were feeling heat at the ends of the battery, if you're feeling heat in the middle of the cell. So it's the resistance is pretty high at the connection, but that's why I was curious where you're feeling heat on your setup, you know. So I know on mine, I'm using a human setup with that badass prop, so it's really not drawing very hard on it. And when I'd pull my battery out, like I'd land and immediately go over to the plane and grab the battery just first thing, and it was just warm. I wouldn't even characterize it as hot, you know. Certainly not hot. So yeah,
that's good. Not hot is good.
There's no air in the air
Definitely.
there where you live, though.
yeah. Well, my plane's got really good ventilation. My Sultan, it's a wind tunnel. It's a converted piped plane, so I have the battery sitting basically in the bottom of the plane, and it's just there's direct airflow over the ESC, and then the battery is being blasted by air, so it's sitting pretty as far as ventilation goes.
What are the cans of those batteries made out of?
Steel.
They say steel, but just regular old rusty steel, or are they stainless,
No,
or what?
I would imagine it's stainless.
So,
yeah, I don't know. I know you're supposed to Scotch Brite or lightly sand the ends before you solder on them, just like most things, just to either get an oxide off of it or a factory coating of some variety. But I haven't soldered on them yet. So, but that's just
picking materials for the connectors. I'd pick something that's unlikely to corrode, something that's in the same place on the electrical scale, you know.
Yeah. Well, steel is further down from nickel, you know, on the ampacity chart. Just
I forget what you call it, the one with sodium on top and platinum on the bottom, you know.
Well, I'd use pure diamonds in that.
What that's the what's the name of that property? Eagerness to give up an electron or something.
The ampacity of it?
No. The thing you want to avoid is corrosion, so you want to have stuff close together. Yeah.
Dissimilar metals, so you're not
getting
galvanic.
Galvanic.
Now you're talking. Yes, thank you. I worry more about that.
Just ask me for good ideas. I can tell you how to make sure the spinner fits right on your plane, you know. So
is that an oxidation you was thinking of too, Howard?
Is that an oxidation reaction? I don't know. It's if you get metals that are far apart on the scale, you get corrosion.
Yeah, like aluminum and steel on the cars, galvanic corrosion.
Yeah, or like in the case of the 787, with the aluminum keel and the carbon fuselage, and if you have a leak in the restroom, you can use that as a battery to start the engine.
With a 2007 Ford Mustang hoods bubble up in the front from that.
16s do too. We just had to repaint ours.
Interesting. You guys, let me read something from the chat. Tony San Benedetto, he's actually had so much time. He's had time to write something, then to retract it and delete it. But the last thing he said was for caffeine to look up the Mr. Ugly by Jack Sheets in Control Line World magazine, January 2012. So he earlier had said that he had a plane, but he deleted it. So I think are you guys familiar with a plane called Mr. Ugly by Jack Sheets?
Yeah, it was a, I think it was I think it was not modified Banshee so much as reclaimed from the trash heap, Banshee or something like that. It was put together or reassembled or something like that. And it actually turned out to be a pretty, it trained about a generation of Indianapolis area stunt flyers. All right. So.
All right.
Let's say goodnight, guys.
Hey, good night, Al. Hey, thanks for coming in, Al. Hope you had a chance to, did you want to share with us something or?
No, I was just talking about, you guys were talking about the regional contest and just want to add that to it.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much, Al.
Yeah, I got one more thing I'd like to share before I sign off. And
okay.
And Joe Daly sent me these.
Oh wow! Look at that. Make it big.
Oh, cool.
Is that carbon fiber there?
Yes.
Where did you get that from, Tim?
They just showed up one day.
They fell off the back of a truck, eh?
Yeah, no, Joe made these and they're really nice.
What's the spacing from inside? Is that like 3.5 inches? More than that or what?
More.
4 inches?
Yeah, it's the inner holes are 4 1/16, so 3 7/8 maybe. I'm guessing here.
Let's see. I don't know if this is going to work or not.
Yeah, that will help. So make me do some math here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4.5.
I guess I could have started on the end, huh? Make this a little easier. I apologize.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so 3.5. No, a little bit more than 3.5. That's
5 1/4 outside.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 1/8 inside, looks like to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Anyway,
I was thinking about where the hand fits in. I was just about the spacing of that.
All
I
right,
just made
that'd
some handles.
That may
That may not be enough for your new dog.
3.5.
Oh.
Right at 3.5.
Oh, that's like the same size as a Ted Fancher handle by Brent Williams.
Awful close.
Yes, I made mine 3 5/8.
Well,
that dimension.
Tim's new airplane's kind of insensitive.
Don't fall asleep there, Len. I got a couple of questions for you when he's done.
5 inches.
Is that intergranular corrosion? Is that the word we were looking for?
Oh, what corrosion?
Intergranular?
No,
inside.
No. When you get into the details, probably so, but.
Hey, but thanks for showing me those handles, Tim. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Joe made
That's
those.
neat.
Showed up in the mailbox a couple days after we talked, and they're very, very, very nice. So thanks, Joe.
And I got a response from Tony Sambendetto. He says it was a modified version plans. There was a two-time winner. It was a two-time winner, Mr. Ugly by Jack Sheets.
Okay.
Very cool. Thank you, Tony.
Hey, Len, are you and Brad going to Aircraft Spruce tomorrow? Len, wake up.
He's awake.
Are you going to?
I'm sorry, I'm muted. No, next week, not this week.
Okay, that's fine. And that
Brad's busy tomorrow.
Do you want me to bring that international orange paint to you?
Well, if you're not going to use it, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm going to maybe use it on the next plane. So,
well, hang on to it. Don't worry about it.
Well, I'll bring it if you want, and you can use it if you want.
Just send it to Howard.
Yeah.
You'll find a use for it.
Oh, that's funny. Where'd Howard go? Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's there.
Now your dog is not international orange. It's different orange, right, Howard?
It's a different orange. It's an international dog, but it's it's some car color.
International dog.
It's traveled overseas. It's a dog over.
It is international, yes.
That's right.
That's good, Howard.
It's
I like that.
bad and nationwide too.
So we have 14 more minutes until I end the live stream. So
It is Zachary, the same color as old Aerogloss orange.
oh, okay.
All right.
And there's a story that goes with that, but there, you have more important things to hear.
All right. And Tony San Benedetto said that's for the Banshee. So the Banshee, I guess, was was modified. And is that correct, Tony San Benedetto? And it looks like Bob Gore is making his way in here.
Super.
Hey, Len,
Yes.
have you finished your big airplane?
The Strega?
Yeah.
No, I everything's on hold right now. I've got another project on the go, and so all the other ones have sort of gone in stop mode right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, what are you working on?
I won't say anything yet.
Right.
Oh,
There's people who might be offended, so I'm just going to keep it quiet right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Frank Donnelly, you have anything to share with us? What you been
Well,
up
if
to?
you care to see a kind of goofy video,
Yeah.
I can share a video with you. If I've never
right.
done this before, but what do I do? Share screen and then
First, bring the item up and
I
have it
have-
ready, and then go down to the share screen at the bottom, and then you select the one you want to share.
all right. So I guess I got to make this less than full size. All right, I have the video up. Let me minimize this too, I suppose.
And if you have any questions, you can ask Caffeine. He did it earlier tonight, so he's a professional.
All right. What does that do for you? Anything?
Don't see anything yet.
Let me stop it. Oh, I don't know what I'm into here now. Let me close that. Allow Zoom share. Okay. All right. I don't know what the heck this is. I don't know. I'm not having a whole lot of luck here. So do you see my screen now?
No. Hey, Caffeine, tell them what you did step by step to show your video.
Yeah, sure. First of all, just open up the video a window, and then you click the share screen.
Okay.
And
the
then
video, I have the video window open. It's actually another tab.
Yep.
Because it's on YouTube.
Okay. No problem with that. Just click the share screen, and then you will have option of display that you want to share.
All right. Well, let me see if I can find my way back here now. All right. I'm going to click share screen.
Yep.
All right. Now it brings up.
Choose the window of your video.
Choose the window of my video. Okay.
And make sure you click the share sound box on the bottom left.
I did that. So now,
Okay.
Now
Cool.
you see it?
Yep.
All right. And I don't know how to make it bigger so you can still see it full screen.
All right.
So let me advance it a little bit and tell me if you can make out what's going on here for real.
Yeah, I think we can. I see a plane flying.
All
It's an
right.
electric plane.
That's a Cavalier.
Oh, reverse wing over.
But who's flying it?
Nobody.
Oh, where is the pilot?
That's interesting.
Yep.
it is interesting. Where the heck
Pretty
is the
good
pilot?
round loops too.
Yeah, white shirt on, doesn't he?
Where's my white hat?
Remote control.
It's not remote control. I'm actually flying it.
Well, what are you doing? Laying down?
No.
You got a
Is there
pylon out
in
there.
the middle? Is that a tether in the middle, Frank?
No tether. I'm standing out there. It's all the magic of video editing. I've masked myself out.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, very interesting.
Frank is getting too dang technical now.
Hey, Frank, can you do that when I fly, but hide the airplane?
Especially in the maneuvers, right?
Exactly.
Golly, good gracious.
That's interesting, Frank.
You're where the tree is, aren't you? It's like an aerial or something sticking up.
Yeah, I just had too much time on my hands one day, and it was just as a joke on YouTube. I actually titled the video something like "Feel like going out to the field one day," so I sent somebody out there with my plane so I could get some practice in.
Oh Lord.
Oh gosh.
But I don't have to put you through the whole thing. I just thought you might find that kind of curious.
That's cute. I like that.
Oh, well, we can
I did not know you could do that. That's neat.
Well, it's just you take a part of the background and you lay it over top of yourself. But the challenge is you're moving around out there, and sometimes it took me a long time because there were times where I could see, especially on the overhead, suddenly I could see my hand popping up in the middle of the screen, just a hand.
Oh yeah.
You got to kind of track the thing as it's going through each frame.
Well, see, what I found fascinating about the whole thing was that as techno wizardry as Frank is on doing the video on the timer and some of the other stuff I've seen him do, he had a little bit of problem putting that up there. So he's not whiz bang at everything. He's still got a little to learn.
Not at all. Not at
I
all.
like
Especially,
it.
I'm doing this on an Apple, and I came from a Mac. I'm sorry, I came from a Windows world. So.
Well, you do have a lot to learn in because I'm going the other way, and it's woo. Nice landing. I tell you, it's Frank. I'm just tickled that you don't know everything about everything because I'm telling you, some of the stuff that I watch.
Get out of this now. Just stop sharing somewhere.
Yeah, just hit stop sharing top of the screen. Usually, there's a stop sharing.
Oh, okay.
There
Thank
you go.
Very much.
Cool deal.
Thank you.
Very good.
That's
Very nice as usual, Frank.
Oh, thank you.
So Bob Moore, did you get a chance to fly your Oriental?
Yeah, I've flown it a couple of times. It's doing okay. Got a little trimming to do yet, but it's doing okay. I got to fly like I got to fly like 7 times this last weekend.
Wow. Very good. Oh, that's great.
Got
all that hard work.
Breaking the weather here.
What engine do you have on your Oriental?
What motor do I have? I've got a Brodak 40 on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That ought to be plenty of power. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Fox 35 in mind. If I had it to do, well, I'm going to build another one, and the next one will be a 40 of some sort, 40 or 46. 46 may not be as good at braking in places and doing a few things as some of the 40s, but it's just the best all-around sport engine I've ever run. They're so easy to make run well.
It's got the torque feel. It doesn't need to brake.
That's it.
It's
That's
grunts.
it.
It is grunts over.
Yeah, put the right prop on it, and it just works.
Stuart, that airplane looks like it's just about ready to cover.
Almost. Except I boo-booed.
Uh-oh.
Make it big. 1 second.
The bell crank.
What did you boo-boo?
The bell crank and it has the rod on the right side. And
and the flaps are on
and
the
the
left.
flap is made for being on the left side. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna just cut it here and
Yeah, sure.
It'll work.
it'll look even.
Yes. Be more aesthetically pleasing. They both look even, yeah.
It
It's like,
happens.
I meant to
We
do that.
We do stuff.
I got these little guys on today, Len.
Good job.
Oh, good job. Oh, those are the Wendy Yanowski ones?
I don't know.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're the Windy Ertnowski pads.
I can tell by the color.
As someone famous once said, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always to me.
You're not the only one, brother. Let me tell you.
Don't worry, we all do it. We glue,
Yeah.
we cut stuff and then go, oh darn, shouldn't have cut that.
I could have left it the other way, but the aileron, the way I did it, I wanted it on the outside because it's a lot heavier than the inside. So I'm shooting for no tip weight or less than a half ounce. So we'll see.
Charles,
Yeah.
I've got that polystyrene ribs for that Spitfire.
Let me see here.
Oh, sure.
That is made out of the meat
trays.
My goodness.
Not a cool idea.
Those are meat trays, those ribs?
Yeah, meat tray.
How did you cut them?
Hang on. Show you. Marion's turned my Spitfire upside down for me too, so I'll show you that in a minute. Just a quick glance. Got it here. Here we go.
I'll be doggone.
That's the meat tray there that they came from.
Wow, that's styrofoam or styrene of some sort.
Yeah, I had
That's
hundreds
just really
of them
neat.
because when I was teaching, I used to make them with the kids at school, turn them into little chucky gliders, you know. And so I decided to use the material to make ribs with.
Oh, interesting.
I did some tests on them, and they're actually very forgiving in a crash. You don't get splinters. You kind of get them bouncing back into shape. They absorb shock quite well, and they're actually quite strong, believe it or not.
Interesting. I mean,
definitely light.
What do you use to glue them together?
I used aliphatic glue.
Just white glue.
Wow.
White glue.
White glue. That makes sense.
Is the underside.
Beautiful.
That is very nice.
Beautiful.
I used white because I couldn't get grey, so I thought, I had some white, so I used it. I thought in the air it's going to look okay.
Yes, it looks great.
So you figure if you use that stuff to make ribs and then you glue cap strips on top of it, you could dope and tissue a wing and no problem. It's not going to hurt them.
Won't hurt a thing.
That's a good idea.
What about the
It
cost
is a good
savings?
idea.
I mean, styrene is cheaper than balsa.
You're not kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
now.
No,
Yeah,
but every
I
one of
mean,
those meat trays came with $15 worth of steak on it.
Well, we might go broke, but at least we'll eat good.
That's it.
Oh, that's too funny, Dennis. That's fine. That's a good one.
Yeah, well, price of meat these days, it'd probably be more like $1,500 worth of meat.
Yeah.
So those were repurposed meat trays that were used, or did you just buy
No,
meat trays?
they were clean, unused. I went to the butcher and I told him what I wanted to do, and he said, "Oh, here," and he came out the back with a great big plastic bag about the size of a wheelbarrow full of the damn things. He said, "Here, have them." And yeah, we made heaps and heaps and heaps of chucky gliders at my school with those.
I think
still
I'll
got
become.
a kid talking about them to this day.
I think I'll become good friends with the butcher down at the grocery store where I work.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Or you might stop being a vegetarian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put this on my suppliers list.
You're darn right.
Yeah,
meat trays.
So, I don't think you can get them like that now. I don't think I've just about run out of them. I don't think you can get them like that now. They seem to you know, whenever they try and improve something, they always bugger it up and make it different some way. How you can't seem to use it the same. They've filled them, perforated them with holes and all this sort of stuff now, so they absorb the blood and what have you. So I don't think they're going to be any good. But I've made several. I've made half a dozen wings out of that stuff, and they all work fine. And as I say, they're very forgiving. You can plant them and straighten them out pretty quick.
Wow. So your wing was, how much did it weigh when you used that styrene material for ribs?
By the time I finished, it was actually getting a bit overweight because the balsa I had was a variation of rubbish plus some hard stuff and very light stuff. And
rubbish plus some hard stuff.
Even with the polystyrene, it was still getting a bit porky, so I filled it full of holes. And I know that some of you guys just go, "Oh no, don't do that, whatever you do." But I turned it into a Swiss cheese, actually. So I got it down to about 15 ounces, the wing. I think it was just over 15 ounces complete with everything in it. So it turned out okay.
As big as that wing is, that's not terrible.
No, it's not.
You have to go back and check, but the indoor RC flyers were using a so-called Depron foam, which is like 3 millimeters, eighth of an inch basically. And, getting it in sheets, which would be, I think what Jonathan shows there that's pretty darn impressive. I've wondered if that was possible to use that stuff like that. I think he just showed me it is. So,
yeah.
If you buy that sheet stuff, I've seen it online, in the big sheets, and it's very expensive that way. In fact, I would say it would be more expensive than balsa wood, or possibly more expensive. So anyway,
the trouble with balsa wood now is you got two problems. Number one is, the wood could be, the quality of the wood as you were describing is, it ain't getting any better, and it's getting harder and harder to find it. I mean, I go to my local hobby shop and I try to buy a piece of 16 by 3, they all come back next Thursday. We'll see if we can order it, And,
yeah. It's a real.
Go ahead, Jonathan. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, getting balsa wood here. I'm sorry about the noise in the background, by the way. But anyway, I'll wrap it up. When you find balsa wood here, when you see it, you buy it. But it's a bit of a bugger's muddle, really. Sometimes you just got to grab something that you think you might need later, a bit harder, or the grain might not be quite right, but you grab it anyway.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, Frank Donnelly is holding up it's like a jet of some sort. Let me make him big, and then we're going to end the live stream after this show and tell.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wow, that is pretty neat, Frank. What are we looking at?
Nice.
He's muted.
Oh, it's too bad. You're muted, Frank.
Unmute yourself, Frank.
You got your hands full.
There we go.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was going to say, you guys mentioned Dapron, and this is completely made out of Dapron. It was a lot of cutting to get all these parts out, and I've had this for several years now. But this is an RC model, and it had it's a twin, and it has a variable thrust. I can
that's interesting.
I can move the motors up and down, and it'll do a loop on a dime. It'll basically roll around like that.
I bet.
Dapron is really easy to work with, and I can see that you could substitute it for balsa for ribs very easily.
Interesting. Cool. So, Mark, on your list now, you got to put, this is according to Tom Rammel. He says the buyer's list is meat trays, string, glass, supplier, soldering iron, and now Dacron.
Depron, yeah.
Dacron. You got that, Mark?
Oh, I got it, Charles.
And with that, I'm going to end the live stream. Hey, thank everybody for coming in. It was great having you guys in here and doing the show and tells. And thank you, Joe Daly, for coming in. That was a treat. I hadn't seen you since the Nats. And hopefully everybody has a chance to work on their shop and maybe go do some flying. and come back and tell us all about it Friday. Now, we're just going to end the live stream. Some of us hang around and we have what's called the after party where we're not being televised. And so we kind of feel a little bit freer and we have some fun. So until then, fair winds.